Hello everyone and welcome to Chris's collection. Look at this, dude. We got what is this? So let me explain, guys, what this is. This is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but this is a special version of Ocarina of Time. This was for the GameCube. And basically when you pre-ordered The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which, let's check out this trailer. Nintendo gave you this special pre-order bonus that was so fucking cool. It was Ocarina of Time, the original classic 1998 N64 game, and the last major Zelda game, even though Majora's Mask is the shit, prior to this one. And then it also had Ocarina of Time Master Quest included, which is kind of like a reshuffling of Ocarina of Time. And also it had a ton of videos for either current or upcoming Nintendo games that were coming out. So it was a really fucking cool bonus, man. Like, I don't know about you, but giving people a fucking bonus game, like they don't do stuff like this anymore. This is so, well, they kind of do sometimes, but this is so fucking cool to be like, here, man, here's a fucking amazing N64 classic on the GameCube. They sometimes do this. I know Doom Eternal, if you pre-ordered that, they gave you Doom 64. That's pretty rad. But yeah, so they just threw in this game for free, and I thought that was so fucking cool. So I was planning on getting Wind Waker anyway, but like when the time came, I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking get this. So I remember I called my GameStop, or what was it? Yeah, I think it was GameStop, and it was here in, yeah, I remember it was it was so bizarre. My mall here in Miami had two fucking GameStops in the same fucking store. They had a Planet X, which is just a GameStop that's named Planet X. I have no idea why. And then they had a electronics boutique, or an EB Games rather, like near the food court. I think I've mentioned this before on this channel. And so I was like, dude, really? So I remember I'd go to GameFAQs all the time, and this was back during a time where it was like really hard to get shit from video stores. Like, people didn't know anything, and I think I mentioned this before, but there's shit known as ship dates, which wasn't really the release date, even though games would mark it like games would say coming out February 2nd, and then you'd call and be like, hey, is the game out? It's February 2nd, and they're like, no, today's the ship date, it comes out tomorrow, really. And it was so confusing. But anyway, so I would pester that fucking store so much. These are cool videos, by the way. So much that it would just, I'm sure I probably fucking annoyed them, but I remember I'd read like a comment on GameFAQs, and I'm like, some guys like, guys, I got my fucking Ocarina of Time. I went to the store during lunch, and I'm like, hey, I pre-order. Can I get my pre-order bonus? And they're like, sure. And I would like contact them and be like, hey man, do you guys have it? They're like, no. And they're like, we've actually gotten so many calls about this. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't fucking know. And and so like eventually they said yes, and I think like, may he rest in fucking peace, man. Miss him to death. My abuelito was like, all right, fuck it, I'll take you. And he like took me to the mall to go pick it up, and the mall was actually pretty close to where we live, so it was like a 5-minute drive. But yeah, so I went and picked it up, and I was so stoked. I'm like, yeah, I got it. And like, they had to check. They're like, did you pre-order? I'm like, I did. And they're like, what's your phone number? And they'd be like, all right, looks like you did pre-order. And then, I went back and picked up Wind Waker. I think it was like maybe 2 months later or something like that. As a PS to this story, I have to say this. My sister has spent the last 15 fucking years trying to play Ocarina of Time, and she has been playing this version of the game, the GameCube version, and I think it is the funniest thing in the world, man. And it's so cool. Like, occasionally she'll come over and be like, hey man, like if I had the GameCube hooked up or something, she'll be like, mind if I take a crack at at Ocarina. I'm like, go for it. And right now she's stuck at the water temple, which, as you all know, in at least in the N64 version, just completely sucked ass. Anyway, guys, I know I didn't show any actual game footage, but I mean, it's Ocarina of Time. I've played it before, and look at these. Come on, look at these videos. It's part of the game, right? But thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back actually next week with our final. Next week is going to be an interesting week because we're transitioning between GameCube to the next console, which is Xbox 360. Because chronologically, GameCube came out 2001. I'm going in order of release, so the next major console that would be released would be the Xbox 360 in 2005. So yeah, tune in for that. We're gonna cover the last GameCube game, and then we're gonna cover the first Xbox 360 game. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care.